Hi there, I'm doing this video today and to talk again about natural health and about our diet and the importance of drinking pure water as well. And one of the things that I really notice when talking to people about these subjects, and particularly water and the contaminants within water, is that although on many levels people actually know that the toxins within the water have detrimental effects on their health and also their cognitive function, they just don't really seem to take action on it, and it really is imperative if you want to remain healthy, and also if you want to be able to think clearly as well, because as I've spoken about before, these toxins are very detrimental to the human body. They cause all kinds of disruptions within our hormone system, and if you think about some of the issues that are affecting us today, you perhaps could look no further than the effects of estrogen within the water, and that's particularly true of weight gain and certain issues of fatty deposits that tend to collect in around the male chest area as well. And it wouldn't surprise me at all if that's linked to estrogen, because the birth control pill is so widely used within this country, and it's absolutely inevitable that you're going to be taking that in if you're drinking tap water that's unfiltered. So that's one very serious issue, and certainly fish are deeply affected by this as well, and fish that have been in water that is contaminated with estrogen do actually develop, or male fish actually start producing eggs, which I think says it all in terms of the effects of seriously affecting our hormonal system and causing changes. So that's very important. And then also you've got the link to reproductive cancer as well, from drinking estrogen over time that is held within tap water. As I've spoken about before, you've got the other contaminants like fluoride and chlorine, and they have very obvious effects. The fluoride is definitely, in my opinion, responsible for loads of cognitive problems. It's also been linked to depression, to autism in children, to ADHD, and to various cognitive difficulties in adults and in children. So we don't want to be taking that in. I mean, there is a map that you can get hold of that tells you which areas of the country where they're actually fluoridating the water and in what parts of the country they're doing that. But I wouldn't necessarily trust that anyway. And certainly if that were to change and they were to decide to fluoridate the water, I think it's highly unlikely that they would be telling us that that's the case. Chlorine obviously is a type of bleach, and it makes sense that you wouldn't want bleach anywhere near the inside of your body, so that's an absolute no-no. And then the heavy metals, which are partly caused by contaminants that get into the water supply and are partly caused by the actual system that is used to carry the water as well. So you've got lead in there, aluminium, various other heavy metals. One of the most worrying toxins, I think, within the water these days is pharmaceutical drugs. So you haven't just got the estrogen in there from the birth control pill, but you've got psychotropic drugs getting into the water because of the amount of people that are on antidepressant medication. And, if you think about how many people are also taking various different medications for cholesterol, you've got statins in the water, and drugs that are used to suppress various heart conditions and stuff like that. These are all going into the water, and I think it's something like 60 to 70% of people are on long-term medication. It is getting to the point where it's almost as bad as America, and as far as I'm concerned, tap water is not to be trusted. It's not something that we want to be taking into our body. So filtering your water is absolutely essential. And I've spoken about before why I don't like distillers and why I don't think that they are a long-term option for filtering water, basically because they're excellent for a very short-term detox. If you wanted to do like a 2-week detox, and a distiller would be really effective because it actually draws toxins out of the cells and kind of cleans up the whole body. But the problem is it doesn't just draw out what you don't want in there, it also draws out kind of minerals and stuff like that you actually do want. So it's not a long-term option. And if we're to look at the best forms of filtration for long-term use, then I would recommend either reverse osmosis, which you can actually have plumbed into your house so that the water comes out of the tap ready filtered, or a gravity water filter. And the benefits of those are the fact that they don't need any power, the fact that you can take them anywhere and they're fully portable, and the fact that they use varying different ways of filtering water, and the one that I prefer is ceramic, because there's no need for aluminium or any, because you've got to be careful when it comes to filtering water that you're not actually using something which uses chemicals in the process of filtration as well. And that's something that I've been looking into quite a lot when I've been sort of comparing different filters and stuff, because some of them actually do use various chemicals to filter the water, and then obviously there's the risk of that actually getting into the water as well. So do kind of be clued up in that area as well. So yeah, basically the way to sort of stay well, stay healthy, and stay kind of on top of what is going on in the world is to firstly take care of yourself and your own body. I really think that that's true. And I've spoken about the mind-body connection before, and how important it is to make sure that you are in the right place in terms of your thoughts, and that you're thinking positively, and that you're not getting too involved in kind of negative stuff. I mean, for instance, when I first kind of woke up to all of this stuff, I found that I was really angry, although I didn't know that, and I was kind of getting involved in lots of opposition with people, and that would eat into all areas of my life. And thankfully, along this journey, stuff has just kind of clicked into place for me. And with a combination of a vegan diet, which is largely raw, I've spoken about before, my diet is about 80% raw, and the rest very, very lightly cooked. That, drinking pure water, taking care of my thought process and the way I'm thinking, and basically trying to spread a message of empowerment and health to other people. I feel that for me, that's the best way for me to kind of take part in this evolution, which is most definitely taking place. I mean, there's an evolution or a revolution, whatever you want to call it, certainly within natural health, and within, the sort of movement of veganism movement. And then also, in terms of people becoming more aware of their true source, and, the fact that we are really spiritual beings having a human experience, that, and just kind of trying to think about the way we live in a more ethical way, not buying products from corporations that are behaving in a very unethical way, and just trying to kind of be good to our fellow man and woman on a daily basis. Anyway, I hope you found this video useful, and yeah, if you've got any questions or if you would like to comment, then please do. Thanks.